201. Any messages for me?
No, ma'am.
Well, hello there. I let myself in. I hope you don't mind.
I could have shot you.
But then you would have felt guilty.
Don't be so sure.
Aw, come on, be nice.
You might have warned me you were planning to blow up the bloody ship.
I wasn't expecting you to be aboard long enough for it to matter. After all that talk about how sneaky you are, I figured you'd get aboard, grab the stuff, and get back off.
Things got complicated.
I've heard that before.
Probably from your mother. What the hell were you thinking anyway?
Well, between the shipping manifest, the captain's log, and your photos, I figured we'd have what we came for. So why not inconvenience the bad guys a little?
There's only one problem. I don't have the manifest or the captain's log.
Oh, that's just perfect. Never send a woman to do a man's work.
Hey, it was your surprise demolition work that got us into this mess.
If you'd done your job, it wouldn't have been an issue.
How could I do my job when the whole bloody ship was going down? You nearly got me killed.
All right, I'm sorry I didn't warn you. Are you happy now?
Not much of an apology, but I guess it'll have to do.
Did you at least manage to place a beacon in the radio room?
I did.
Well, I hope you're up for a swim.
Room service!
You ordered room service?
Get down! You must have been followed. Listen, head for the safe house and grab some scuba gear. I'll arrange for a boat.
Right. Any recommendations on how we get out of here?
It's you I'm worried about. They know your face.
All right, in that case, any recommendations on how I get out of here?
Are you afraid of heights?
I'm comfortable with anything under cruising altitude.
All right then, head for the roof. They won't expect that. I saw a fire escape in the back. You should be able to get down that way. Try to slip out of here without being seen.
I'll do my best.
This does not look good here, dead person. We've shut down the elevators. Good. Stay here in case she comes this way. Halt!
I'm not cleaning up this mess.
Head for the roof. They won't expect that.
Did you hear that?
Mach schnell!
for the roof. They won't expect that.
Here she comes! She's in the air duct!
Mach schnell!
is she?
Over here!
Kill her!
She got away.
What did you say? I don't think I heard you.
She, well,
Say it!
she got away.
How is that possible? Perhaps you feel the odds were in her favor.
Nein, Fräulein Wagner.
Then you're admitting that you failed?
Jawohl, Fräulein Wagner, I should be punished.
My thoughts exactly. But how shall I punish you?
Electrocution would be painful, or perhaps a good beating. But I beg of you, please do not deprive me of the chance to hear you sing. I do not think I could take the pain.
Is that so? Then you have just decided your punishment. You will be prohibited from attending my motivational concerts for 1 week. For 2 weeks.
Please, be merciful.
I do not find pleasure in hurting you this way. But without proper discipline, this organization would fall to ruin. Kaput!
I understand. No singing for 2 weeks, waha!
On second thought, perhaps that punishment is too inhumane. Let's go with electrocution instead,
Jawohl, Fräulein Wagner.
We should be directly over the wreckage. You'd better get going.
What happened to the chivalry? You're not going to tell me it's too dangerous for a wee little lass to go down there by herself.
I'm not the one that left the manifest and the captain's log aboard the ship.
Well, I'm not the one that scuttled the damn thing.
You want me to go?
No, I just wanted to argue about it. Wish me luck.
Make sure you get the shipping manifest and the captain's log. Oh, and if you see a half-empty bottle of Lafroig floating about in my quarters, I'd be much obliged if you'd retrieve it for me.
Yes, sir!
You disgust me.
So?
You are a drunk and a coward.
You can say what you please about my hobbies and my hygiene, but I swear if you ever cast aspersions on my manhood again, I'll pound you. I'm not a coward.
Your threats don't frighten me.
A good beating might knock some of that ugly out of you. Care to find out?
I will be in my quarters rehearsing. I am not to be disturbed.
That's right. It's the rest of us who'll be disturbed, you bloody great banshee. I heard cats in heat that sing prettier than you.
Criticism is the refuge of those without the talent or discipline for the pursuit of art. I pity you.
And well you should. You call that belling of yours art. Fart is more like it.
Imbecile.
Fatty, 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 fat, fatty, fatty.
Any luck?
Aye, mostly bad. I was ambushed.
Ambushed?
Yeah, by divers. They came out of nowhere. Did you see anything up here?
Not a damn thing.
Well, I got what we came for. Let's head for shore.
Success at last, albeit overdue and underwhelming. Head to the war room for an update on the situation. Perhaps there is a shred of hope after all.
I can't believe this. She's late again. Where is that blasted girl? Give her a break, Smithy.
About damn time.
There's been a new development.
I heard about the Monte Carlo incident. Was it H.A.R.M?
Indeed, they've just issued their demands.
What you know is that at precisely 1700 hours Greenwich Mean Time on September 19th, 1967, an explosion destroyed Club Metropole in Monte Carlo, Monaco, killing 47 people and injuring more than 100. What you do not know is that the source of the blast was not a mechanical device, but rather a man, Commissioner Maurice Albert. Because you are at least somewhat familiar with the research of Dr. Otto Schenker, you are therefore capable of comprehending both the plausibility of this claim as well as its implications. As we have demonstrated, our organization, H.A.R.M, possesses the recipe for a biological weapon of such insidious potential and singular destructive power that no one on the planet is safe. Unless our demands are met.
This is outlandish.
By now, I'm sure you have received the itemized list of our requirements. You have exactly 1 week to fulfill these requirements. If our demands are not met, we will be forced to discipline you. Already we have infected prominent individuals in 36 major metropolitan areas around the world. The first of our unsuspecting victims will detonate at exactly 0600 hours on September 26th. The estimated death toll is 1 million people!
They're mad!
The remaining victims will detonate at 6-hour intervals thereafter. Once our terms have been met, we will deliver a list of infected persons as well as a quantity of antidote sufficient to curtail this catastrophe. However, because the deadline we have imposed is dictated by the chemical fuse inherent in the reagent itself, the sooner you comply with our wishes, the more time you will have available in which to administer the antidote. I assure you that you do not possess the medical means necessary to diagnose the infection, nor the technical means necessary to diffuse it. Therefore, it would be in your best interest not to squander valuable time on such useless endeavors. Furthermore, any attempts by your secret service organizations to interfere with H.A.R.M shall be severely punished. That is all.
A puppet?
Don't be fooled by the messenger. This situation is extremely grave.
They certainly expect us to swallow a lot of maybes. Maybe they're telling the truth about Monte Carlo. Maybe the consequences would be as dire as they predict. Maybe there's an antidote. Maybe they'll fulfill their end of the bargain.
I tend to agree with you, Agent Archer. But for the time being, I suggest we take them at their word.
The word of a puppet?
What are their demands?
Mr. Smith?
£50 million sterling, the continent of Australia, and an internationally recognized holiday to be known as Praise Be to H.A.R.M Day.
I don't see the point.
Presumably it is to praise H.A.R.M.
Not in the holiday. In their demands. It's obvious we aren't capable of fulfilling them. H.A.R.M must want us to forfeit.
Nonsense. They may be madmen, but we have to presume they aren't completely irrational. Why even issue demands if their sole purpose were to cause destruction and chaos?
Perhaps they expect a partial capitulation. That way they can get what they really want, the £50 million sterling. But they can also justify punishing us when we come up short on their other demands. It's obvious from the way they go on about their secret weapon that they're just itching to use it again.
You hardly have the experience necessary to support such speculations.
Archer may be onto something. In any case, H.A.R.M's motives are irrelevant. Our goal is to stop them. Completely. No capitulation, no compromise.
What about their warning?
Once again, we must take them at their word. It is therefore imperative that we act swiftly and decisively. Our objectives are clear. We must obtain the list of infected individuals. We must get our hands on the antidote, and we must recover Dr. Schenker.
And Volkov?
He's only a threat if he knows what we're up to. If our theories are correct about Agent Lowry, Volkov shouldn't be much of a concern.
What if your theories aren't correct?
Then may God help us all.
I hope we can come up with a better plan than that. What about the information we got off the ship?
Well, the containers you photographed weren't accounted for on the shipping manifest, which comes as little surprise. However, much of the cargo aboard the freighter was on its way to a chemical plant in southern England.
Not much to go on.
Be that as it may, it's better than sitting on our hands waiting to find out if Archer's correct about H.A.R.M's intentions.
And the captain's log?
Useless.
Shit.
Tell us about this chemical plant.
It's owned by Dumas Industrial Enterprises.
Dumas? As in Baron Archibald Dumas?
What do you know about him?
Only what I've read in the papers. Apparently, he's a reclusive chap who spends much of his time hunting big game in Africa and Southeast Asia. No one knows much about him except that he inherited the company from his father about 10 years ago.
We're counting on you to discover whether or not he's connected to H.A.R.M.
And if he is?
First things first. For now, try to get an audience with the man. Size him up. We need to know what sort of fellow we're dealing with.
Your best bet is to see if you can catch him at the chemical plant. There's also a corporate office up north, but apparently he doesn't spend much time there.
Whatever you do, don't jeopardize your cover. It's imperative that we take H.A.R.M. by surprise.
Understood.
I have a hunch we're getting close. If this lead pays off, we'll be one important step closer to victory.
Welcome to Advanced Field Tactics. We've cooked up a stunning new perfume for you. It temporarily blinds and dazes anyone caught in its influence. Do be careful not to spray it upwind. This little fellow is one of our most refined inventions, the P421 K9 Persuader. Just start it up with a convenient pull cord and set it on the ground. Using sophisticated olfactory sensors, the P421 will seek out the nearest dog within its range and release a cloud of pheromone gas designed to enamor canines of either sex. Quite useful for incapacitating bothersome guard dogs. Use your robotic poodle to distract the guard dog. Excellent.
It is possible that the reclusive Baron Archibald Dumas is somehow connected to the disappearance of Dr. Schenker. It will be up to you and Agent Goodman to establish the link, if it even exists. The first step is to meet the Baron in person and size him up. Whatever you do, don't blow your cover.
morning. How may I help you?
We've an appointment with Baron Dumas.
I'm sorry, but are you sure it was today? The Baron usually reserves Mondays for golf. Tuesdays and Thursdays are for skeet shooting, Wednesdays for fishing, and Friday afternoons for backgammon.
Sounds like a busy schedule. How does he find time for appointments?
His lordship reserves Friday mornings between 11 and 11:15 a.m. for business matters.
Well, I'm positive today was the day.
Could you take another look at the appointment book?
I suppose, but I can't see that it will do any good. The Baron's routine is quite established. Would you excuse me for a moment?
That should keep her busy for about 10 minutes, poor lass.
All right, wait here just in case. I'll find the Baron's office and see if I can dig up some incriminating evidence.
I've got a better idea. You wait here and I'll snoop around.
No way, Sugar Pie. Remember what happened last time?
Heads or tails?
Tails.
Heads. You lose. Sugar pie.
2 out of 3?
Don't be a sore loser.
Fine, but stay sharp. If you're seen, the mission's blown. If the Baron figures out you were in his office, the mission's blown. If you hurt anybody...
The mission's blown, I know.
Just remember what I said.
I'm not sure I agree with her.
Did you see what she did with her hair? It's horrid.
Yes, Mr. Hilltop. I'm sure you'll hear all about it on Saturday. Certainly, Mr. Hilltop.
Ah, good. You look very nice today.
Thank you, Mr. Hilltop.
I'll be in my office if anybody calls for me.
Yes, sir.
Good God. What's the point of implementing safety regulations if no one abides by them? After 3 safety training courses in the past 2 months, you'd expect to see some decline in serious on-site accidents, don't you think?
I suppose so, sir.
So would I. But according to this report, the accident rate's actually gone up.
Sorry to hear that, sir.
Somebody's certainly going to be sorry. Get home to Mr. Manning. Don't give me up.
Yes, sir. Mr. Manning.
You like the Beatles? Sure. I wish they'd go on tour again. They're culture great. Sure, as long as they keep making records, I'm happy. I just hope they don't break up.
Any luck?
Plenty. Do you trust me now?
Nope.
Now then, let's see if, we can't sort this confusion out, shall we?
That's all right. Perhaps we can reschedule at a more convenient time.
Certainly. How about Friday at 11 a.m.?
Perfect. See you then. I want to take a look around in there.
Good idea, but it's my turn.
Heads or tails?
You got to go last time.
Heads or tails?
I'm going, you're staying. No arguments, no coin toss.
Don't be such a Jessie. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Tails. You lose. Again.
I'm in charge here. I give the orders, you take the orders.
Well, now that we've decided who's going in, what are your orders, sir?
All right, I'll help you get inside, but you'd better be careful. If anyone sees you, liquidate him before we can set off an alarm, and stay clear of security cameras.
Don't worry.
Photograph anything that looks suspicious and collect as much intelligence as you can. Files, correspondence, dossiers, anything.
Aye, aye, sir. Excellent orders, sir. I look forward to following them.
Give me a few seconds head start.
True. That Diana rig is one far specimen.
She sure is. I wouldn't mind getting roughed up by her.
What exactly did your report say?
That the pump needed to be replaced.
Why didn't you replace it?
You asked me to inspect it and file a report.
Did I?
I'm fairly sure.
Perhaps you'd care to accompany me back to my office and help me locate this report of yours.
I'm supposed to go on patrol.
Then stop by as soon as your shift is over.
Yes, sir.
okay? You seem kind of down.
Just stressed.
What's wrong?
My mother-in-law's coming into town this weekend.
You don't get along with her?
She hates me. Actually, it's mutual.
How long is she here for?
A month.
Oh my god!
I'm scared of what I'm going to do.
I guess your wife would probably be upset if you threw her in front of a train.
Yes, I thought about it, but I think it will just create a lot of tension. Even if she couldn't prove it was me, she'd always want.
So, what's your plan?
Be a man about it. Life's all about lessons. I guess I just need to learn how to put up with my mother-in-law without killing her.
That's philosophical of you.
Hello, what have we here? Sergeant Magnus Armstrong. Well, well. It was Armstrong, all right. I'm sure of it.
Excellent work, Archer.
What do you want us to do now?
Try to interview the Baron at his estate. We need to know if he's involved.
You think it might be someone within the organization?
I'm hoping that you and Goodman can answer that question.
Aye, sir. We'll do our best. Let's go.
Tails.
Heads.
Damn it!
Ah, don't pout. Your eyes get all small and piggy when you're sulking.
How are you planning on getting in there anyway?
I'll charm my way in.
Well, I hope you brought some secret charm powder or something, otherwise you're in big trouble.
I've got better weapons in mind.
Like what?
You've been staring at them all afternoon.
Huh?
Yes?
Hello, my name is Mia Haig. I have an appointment with Baron Dumas.
No, you don't. Good day.
Wait.
What is it?
Good afternoon. My name is Mia Haig. I'm from Men of Influence magazine.
Men of Influence? What on earth are you doing here?
This is the residence of Baron Archibald Dumas, is it not?
Yes?
Baron Dumas certainly seems to qualify as a man of influence, wouldn't you say?
I suppose it would depend on how you choose to define influence.
He is the president of Dumas Industrial Enterprises.
Ah.
He's wealthy.
True.
He's well respected. He's dashing. He's debonair.
Listen, this is all very educational, but what exactly do you want?
I'd like to interview the Baron about the future of Dumas Industrial Enterprises. Our readers love stories about savvy businessmen conquering corporate challenges in our modern age.
Ah, yes. Sadly, the Baron does not disclose information regarding his business to anyone, even attractive young females such as yourself.
I was hoping to profile Baron Dumas for our Perfect Lives series. Each month we cover a different person whose lifestyle and disposition exemplify perfect living.
And you wish to include his lordship in this series?
Yes, the idea is to penetrate the myth and get to know the man. His pastimes, his ambitions, his accomplishments, the things that make him tick.
I see.
He's a model aristocrat.
Ah.
Someone our readers can look up to.
Of course. Will you excuse me for a moment, Miss Haig? I don't think I could forgive myself if I were to let this sublime opportunity pass by. I will discuss your request with his lordship and return presently with his answer.
Thank you.
Please, wait here. I shan't be a moment. Very well. His lordship has agreed to see you.
Excellent.
This should be amusing.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Follow me, please. Miss Haig, sir.
Splendid. Show her in.
I'll leave you to your interview, darling. I'll be shopping for the rest of the afternoon.
Yes, yes. Have a marvelous time, Chipmunk.
Don't call me that.
As you wish, my love. Pip pip.
He's rather larger than I expected.
Ah, yes. He's a big bundle of charisma and intelligence. If you're lucky, perhaps he'll regale you with his rousing safari adventures.
Good day, Baron Dumas.
Goodness, had I known you would be so sumptuous, I might have dreamed. Care for a drink?
No, thank you. It's a little early for me.
Well, I'll indulge for us both in that case. I hope you'll pardon me for saying so, but you're a ravishing girl. Simply ravishing.
That's very kind of you. I'm sure your wife feels absolutely spoiled by your abundant charm.
Oh, she's a lucky old crow, I'll grant you that. Now then, Giles tells me you want to profile me for this magazine of yours. Men of Influence, was it?
Yes, each issue we cover a different person in our Perfect Lives series. Someone whose lifestyle and achievements serve as inspiration for our readers.
Jolly good. You've come to the right place. That will be all, Giles.
Actually, sir, I thought it might be worthwhile for me to stay, in case the young lady should desire anything at all.
Splendid idea. Pip pip.
Yes, sir. I'll be right over here if you require anything, Miss Haig.
Thank you. Baron Dumas, do you mind if I record our interview? I'd rather devote my attention to you than to my notepad.
And who could blame you? Record away, my dear. So then, where shall we begin?
Clearly, it takes a savvy, intelligent individual to succeed in business where you have. What's your secret?
Well, I suppose it takes a solid appreciation of the fundamentals of business success. Once you have that, the rest is easy.
Many men with such immense wealth succumb to sloth or immoderation. How do you keep yourself productive and effectual in the face of such constant temptation?
Excuse me.
An ingenious question. Well, you see, a man has certain choices he can make. Some choices are wise ones, and some are not. So I suppose you could say that making wise choices is an important step in one's tireless quest for wisdom.
I'm sure a man of your education is as broadly read as he is charming. What works of literature have you found most influential?
Yes, literature. One of my favorite subjects. I've always said that to read is to experience the literary wisdom of wise men.
Very well said. And who are some of your favorite authors? Hemingway, Melville, Dostoevsky?
Precisely. Good. Yes. Shall we proceed to the next question?
I noticed you have quite a collection of fine art about the place. Who are some of your favorite painters?
Oh, I like them all.
But surely there must be one or two whose work stands out for you.
Certainly. Fipstein is probably my favorite.
I'm not familiar with his work.
Not many people are. It's quite smashing. I'm sure you love it.
What movement?
Excuse me?
Is he an impressionist, surrealist, constructivist, pointillist?
Yeah, a little of everything, actually. He's quite versatile.
Really? Do you have any of his work about?
Normally, yes, but it's out being cleaned.
Cleaned?
Yes, those old paintings get so dusty.
Ah. Is there anything that can strike fear into the heart of such a stalwart hunter as yourself?
Frankly, no.
Really? Nothing at all?
Not that I can think of.
Not even centipedes?
Oh, dreadful things. Yes, I suppose, perhaps centipedes.
Personally, I'm terrified of rats.
God, yes. Those beady, evil little eyes and sharp little vermin teeth. Horrible animals, especially in a mob.
And the spiders?
Oh, don't even mention them.
How did you become so courageous?
Oh, just something one's born with, I suppose.
I understand that yours is a steadfastly Episcopal lineage. How does your unswerving faith influence your day-to-day life?
This should be good.
Well, you see, faith is... how shall I put it? Faith is... No, simply put, faith... I'm sure plenty of other great men have had keen things to say about faith. Why don't you be a dear and just go for it?
Smashing idea. How has your approach to running Dumas Industrial Enterprises differed from your late father's?
I'm not really sure what approach my father used, but I like to run things strictly by the book.
By the book?
Yes, you know, according to policy.
But whose policies?
I'm afraid that information is strictly classified. Next.
Is there a message you'd like to share with your many admirers?
Good hunting, my humble devotees.
Well, that's all the questions I prepared. I must confess, I'm positive this will be our most popular Perfect Lives installment yet.
Oh, you think so?
Absolutely. Rarely does nature combine so many excellent qualities in one man. Our readers will be fascinated, and maybe even a bit envious.
One can hardly blame them.
What I don't understand is where such a busy man finds the time to be a successful business tycoon, loving husband, daring hunter, astute philosopher, cultivated humorist, etc. Aren't you overwhelmed?
Well, one learns to delegate. For example, although you wouldn't guess it, I'm only peripherally involved with Dumas Enterprises these days. Strictly in an advisory capacity, you see, to keep the company on track.
How ingenious.
Oh, well, I have my moments.
But isn't it an awful risk to hand over operations to someone less accomplished in the subtleties of enterprise than yourself?
Actually, it's safer that way.
Really?
Yes, you see, in my experience, the less one knows about running a business, the less he can screw up. I make all the important decisions. The rest is just, paperwork.
Still, you wouldn't want your competitors getting their hands on that paperwork.
Oh, quite true. But we have a very large safe in which to store it.
Safes can be cracked.
It's not a concern.
Why not?
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to discuss such matters, even with the young ladies charming as yourself.
Thank you for your time, Baron Dumas. It's been an eye-opening experience.
I'm happy to oblige. Never turn your back on a worthy cause, I always say.
A worthy meal is more like it. Well done, Agent Archer. You may redeem yourself yet. In the meantime, don't get cocky. There's still work to be done. Command will fill you in on the details. Report there immediately.
Is it possible he was putting on an act?
I don't think so, sir. I'm fairly confident the man is an imbecile.
I heard the tape and I gotta agree.
Still, it's clear that Dumas Industrial Enterprises is somehow linked to H.A.R.M.
Well, didn't the Baron say that he wasn't really running the show anyway? Who's the vice president of the company?
According to our research, his name is Damascus Valentine.
D.V.
What?
His initials, Damascus Valentine, Dmitry Volkov. Coincidence?
Seems rather tenuous.
But nonetheless intriguing. In any case, we need to know what's in the safe the Baron mentioned to you. It won't be easy, naturally, but it could be the key to this investigation.
I'm looking forward to the challenge, sir.
That's the spirit. Mr. Smith, what did intelligence find out about the building?
It's a veritable fortress. Not only is there a suspiciously large and well-trained security staff, but they've also invested heavily in high-tech surveillance equipment, cameras, infrared alarm systems, the works.
They must really have something to hide.
Our thoughts exactly.
So what's the plan? Who is going inside?
You are.
What? Why her? It's way too dangerous for a woman.
Oh, don't start with that again.
Before joining Unity, Agent Archer was something of an expert in covert infiltration, one might say.
Breaking and entering, others might say.
Whatever the case, this assignment calls for stealth and subtlety.
Yeah, I know. Subtlety isn't my specialty. I still think it's too dangerous for her to go in alone.
Which is why you'll be providing a distraction for her downstairs.
I like the sound of that.
How do I get inside?
Attempting entry on the ground floor would be suicide, even for an expert like Miss Archer. The only way in is through the roof access.
What did you have in mind? Am I going to have to parachute in?
Too imprecise. Fortunately, there's an alternative. Dumas Enterprises is erecting a second skyscraper right next to its corporate headquarters. Our surveillance photos suggest that if you can get to the top of the new building, you can use a crane to cross over to the roof of the old one.
The surveillance photos suggest that this is possible?
It will be close. You'll have a zip cord to cut the difference.
I see.
Once you're inside the building, you'll need to locate the president's office and find the safe. Photograph anything remotely suspicious.
We don't want to tip our hand, so leave everything as you found it. The less they know about our mission, the better. Now then, time is of the essence.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Advanced Field Tactics. Here we have the Sphinx Series M Code Breaker. Simply attach it to a standard 10-key security pad, and it will run through a series of combinations until it breaks the code. The duration of this process is determined by the complexity of the code, so it may be advisable to hide until the procedure is complete. Try out your code breaker on this keypad. We've added an infrared scanner to your sunglasses to help you circumvent the security systems you're likely to encounter. If you see suspicious-looking fixtures like these mounted on a wall, be sure to switch on your scanner lest you announce your presence unintentionally.
I'm bored. I never have any fun. Neither do I.
While it's clear that Dumas Industrial Enterprises is somehow involved with H.A.R.M, it's not entirely certain who the mastermind is. You must infiltrate the company's corporate headquarters building, locate the safe in the president's office, and photograph any relevant documents you find. Agent Goodman will provide a distraction that should draw attention away from you, but you should still expect resistance.
Give me a signal when you're in position. I'll stir things up down here. The diversion should make it easier for you to get inside unnoticed.
What kind of signal?
I don't know, something that'll get my attention.
Right. Take care of yourself.
Don't worry about me. Just get to that safe as fast as you can. They figure out what you're up to, you're as good as dead.
They still have work to do. Goodman, where's that diversion?
seen Stinks lately?
Who?
Phillips, you seen him?
Not in the past 20 minutes or so.
Damn, where the hell is he?
What did you call him?
Stinks. You never heard that?
No, that's hilarious.
Yeah, everybody calls him that.
He does stink. Anybody who smokes that many cigarettes a day definitely needs to bathe more than once a week.
I'd hate to see the bath water when he gets out. Probably looks like a slick.
Stinks. That's just so perfect.
Let's get out of here. What's wrong? Volkov.
Once again, I find myself aiming a pistol at someone you care about. Drop your gun.
How do I know you won't shoot him?
You don't. But you can be sure that I will shoot him, unless you do as I say.
Don't listen to him, Archer.
I realize you are American, and therefore feel entitled to speak your mind whenever you please. But you are also at gunpoint, and very likely to be shot if you don't shut up!
Go to hell.
What did you say?
Nothing.
I heard you. Tell me what you said.
I thought you wanted me to shut up. Now you want me to talk? Make up your damn mind.
You are testing my patience. Miss Archer, I suggest you drop your weapon before your obnoxious American friend forces me to silence him, once and for all.
Don't do it. Get out of here now.
Tom!
Go! Go!
After her! I hope you are pleased.
Bittersweet success, to be sure, but a success nonetheless. Recovering from Agent Goodman's death will be no easy task, but you can be sure H.A.R.M won't sit idly by while you grieve. The information you recovered from the headquarters of Dumas Industrial Enterprises may prove to be the break you've needed. Report to the war room for a full briefing.
Agent Kate Archer, please report to the war room. Thank you.
Agent Goodman's death is a terrible blow, no question about it. But although this mission was costly, it may well prove to have been worth the price.
I wish I could believe that.
You mustn't lose sight of our objectives. The sacrifice of any or all of us is a small price to pay to preserve the lives we will save if we are successful. Tom knew the risks. So did Bruno. So do you.
Knowing the risks doesn't really prepare you for losing a partner. It certainly doesn't prepare you for losing two.
Nothing can prepare you. The loss of an operative is never expected and is always tragic. But as horrible as it sounds, it's also inevitable. It's a dangerous job.
Perhaps Mr. Smith is right. Perhaps I'm not up to the task.
Rubbish. You've performed remarkably well under extraordinarily difficult circumstances. I confess I was somewhat skeptical at first, but that was before I grasped the magnitude of the situation. In my entire tenure as a field operative, I never once faced a crisis this formidable, and certainly can't say I would have done so with the aplomb and competence you've demonstrated thus far.
I didn't realize you were a field operative.
Indeed, for 14 years. After the war, I found I was having a hard time adjusting to civilian life. Fortunately, an old acquaintance of mine was recruiting for Unity and happened to ring me one afternoon. I've never looked back. Sort of difficult to imagine, isn't it?
Not at all.
You flatter me. Anyhow, let's have no more self-pity. What do you say?
Yes, sir. So before you served on the committee, you and Bruno were colleagues?
And friends.
Did you ever work together on an assignment?
Frequently. We lost track of how many times we'd saved each other's lives.
And you still believe he was capable of treason?
In my heart? No. Intellectually? I don't quite know what to believe. No question about it. He was always a steadfast, resourceful fellow. But the history books are full of patriots turned traitors. There's no telling what a man is capable of, given the appropriate temptations.
I know what I believe.
I admire your conviction, and I pray you're right. Ah, Mr. Smith, I hope you have some good news.
Good news would be that we hadn't lost another valuable agent on this mission.
What news do we have?
Well, our analysis of Agent Archer's photographs is complete.
And?
We have a possible lead on Dr. Schenker's whereabouts.
I think we can classify that as good news.
As I said, it's all relative. This H.A.R.M situation isn't the only crisis in the world, and we're fast running out of competent field agents.
Then suppose you get to the point and tell us what we know about Dr. Schenker so we can go fetch him.
It's somewhat speculative at this point, but it's possible that H.A.R.M is keeping him at a secret underground research facility in North America. We don't know the exact location of this facility, but thanks to the files Archer photographed, we know it exists, apparently in the vicinity of a lumberyard in western Washington state. It seems the site is being supplied by an American Railways passenger train. Records and researchers dug up evidence of various trains making unscheduled stops in the area over the past 3 weeks.
At regular intervals?
Indeed, probably to drop off supplies and personnel. We're certain that at least one American Railways engineer is on the H.A.R.M payroll, although several individuals may be involved. We're looking into it.
What's my assignment?
Phase 1 will be to apprehend the engineer or engineers in question so that we can interrogate them. Once you're aboard the train...
How exactly am I to get aboard?
We'll smuggle you into the galley car.
Lovely.
Anyhow, once you're aboard, you will meet with a contact who will tell you precisely whom you'll need to detain. It is safe to presume that other H.A.R.M personnel will be aboard the train, so subtlety is advisable. Needless to say, seizing the conspirators will prevent the train from making its stop, so you'll have to be sure to detrain at the appropriate time.
Well, after falling out of an airplane, I suppose jumping off a moving train can't be that bad.
That won't be necessary. Once your objectives are complete, you must head for the caboose and detach it when you're near the lumberyard. We'll have an agent in place to switch the track and reroute you to an unused depot behind the lumberyard. This area is not likely to be heavily guarded, so you shouldn't have much difficulty getting through. If all goes according to plan, you will rendezvous with another undercover agent who will, we hope, have information that should help you locate the underground base.
Then I grab Dr. Schenker and get the hell out.
Precisely. We'll have a helicopter nearby awaiting your signal. Your flight departs in 1 hour, so if you need to stop by the toy shop, now's the time.
Understood. Thank you for putting things in perspective for me, sir. I promise you I will do everything in my power to destroy H.A.R.M.
Archer?
Sir?
Don't let anger cloud your judgment. Revenge is an understandable impulse, but it is also a contemptible one. Our job is not to avenge, but to protect.
I can't just shut off my feelings like a tap.
No, but you can bridle them and use them to fuel your resolve. Destroy H.A.R.M, but do it to save innocent lives, not to retaliate for those already lost. The moment you give in to wrath, you become as reprehensible as the monsters we're hunting. Clearly, we are all called upon to take lives from time to time, but we must neither relish it nor agonize over it. It is a duty, plain and simple. Not a pleasant one, but often a necessary one.
I'll do my best, sir.
I have absolute confidence that you will.
There was one more thing, although I'm not sure how important it is. According to one of the documents Archer photographed, it seems the Baron's wife changed her surname some time ago.
Really? So her maiden name isn't McLean?
It's Farnsworth.
Felicity Farnsworth? Are you quite sure?
Positive. Do you know of her?
Aye, that I do. When she was 8 years old, her father, a wealthy banker, was involved in a nasty public scandal involving unmentionable acts with a 12-year-old boy.
How dreadful.
Mr. Farnsworth committed suicide shortly thereafter. Felicity and her mother, by all accounts a vapid socialite, were ruthlessly ostracized by their peers. Guilt by association, presumably. Furthermore, rather than inheriting the fortune she expected, Mrs. Farnsworth discovered that her late husband had left the family in inescapable debt. She went quite mad. Several days after being institutionalized, she hung herself.
My word, that poor child.
Felicity fell into the custody of an elderly aunt whose lifestyle was apparently rather more severe than she was accustomed to. About a year later, the aunt took a fatal tumble down the stairs.
Foul play?
No mention was ever made.
What happened to the girl?
She ended up with a foster family where she remained until she was 14. One night she went out her bedroom window and was never seen again. Or at least no one recognized her.
Astonishing.
Where did you learn so much about her?
I studied her.
Come again?
I believe I first read about her in a gossip column. I was intrigued by the similarities in our background, so I dug deeper.
What similarities?
Well, we both came from wealthy families. We were both orphaned at a relatively early age. Our fathers both killed themselves, although for very different reasons. We were both plunged into undesirable circumstances and resorted to rather desperate measures to survive. I found it quite uncanny at the time, although in retrospect I think we had less in common than I once believed.
Adversity is the truest test of character. The strong are strengthened by it, the weak made weaker. It sounds like this Baroness didn't have the wherewithal to cope with her misfortunes. It's a common trend among terrorists and bullies that they imagine themselves persecuted by fate and therefore feel justified in harming others.
You're frothing.
Sorry, I get carried away.
She's involved somehow.
The Baroness? Upon what unimpeachable evidence are you basing that supposition?
I just have a feeling.
Ah, then the case is as good as closed.
I don't expect you to believe me, but I'll count on you to say something smug if I'm right.
It's virtually guaranteed.
I'm not smug. Acerbic, perhaps, maybe even sardonic, but not smug.
Okay, sure, whatever you need to tell yourself.
I have to agree with her, Smith.
Don't either of you have work to do?
Aye, sir. Off I go.
Good luck.
Welcome to Advanced Field Tactics. We've a new perfume for you. This one's a real scorcher. It's a concentrated acid gas with a jellied base to make it sticky. You definitely don't want to get it on you. Here's a spiffy new device that should make dealing with security cameras less of an ordeal. When fastened to a camera, it generates a still image from the camera's viewpoint that should convince a casual watcher that he's seeing an empty room. Attach a camera disabler to this security camera.